Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Series 12 of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, where we are using exclusive sketches all month long. Today's sketch is provided by Laura Moss, or Lara, I'm not sure how she pronounces it. It's Lara, Lara Moss. And I really liked it, but I didn't end up using any paper on this besides the background paper because I was at a retreat and one of my friends had bought this big, huge date stamp. It's, I think, from Studio Calico, and nobody had used it yet, and she thought it was a regular size when she bought it, but it wasn't. So thank you, Mo, for the use of your big old date stamp. So that my friend Maureen loaned it to me, and I decided to go ahead and stamp that whole area that has looks like different colors of strips, or maybe it's like a rainbow paper or something like that. But I am stamping that area, and I am randomly, kind of haphazardly stamping in multiple colors. I think I started with peeled paint. I will be holding up the colors at the very end here so that you'll see which colors I used. Definitely using a distress oxide, or no, not an oxide, just a distress ink. And I'm using Dress Blues, and I think Mandarin Spice in the orange one there, but we'll see as soon as I hold those up for sure. I did this a while back, so I don't really remember. I am doing some second generation stamping, so I have some lighter images and some darker images. I don't mind that they're overlapping with each other. It's not a big deal. And so I am also doing this edge over here because I felt like it needed a little balance on this opposite side. And in the sketch there is nothing on that opposite side, but I decided to go ahead and add it. I really just felt like it needed something balanced, especially since I'm not adding any paper, I'm just adding the stamping, so it definitely needed something. So once I get all of that stamped down, I am going to go ahead and start my embellishing, but I'm going to actually map my photo. My photo is a little bit bigger than a 4x6. I don't, it's not quite 5x7, but it is definitely bigger. So I'm going to mat that, and I'm going to use my inks to create my own faux cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and do some splattering, obviously, there. And I am using a fan brush for that. I don't always use the fan brush, but the fan brush gives you really small drips, which is kind of nice. But okay, I use it on occasion for that purpose. Usually I want a variety of size drips. I don't just want small, but in this case I definitely wanted small because I don't want big drips to drop onto that stamped date stamp image and have all of that running. And if you wondered why I was using the acrylic block underneath when I was doing the stamping, it's because I am on a folding like 6-foot table, and it just did not have the support that it needed to do some good stamping. So my acrylic blocks, I know they're flat, and I just stick it under there and use that as a surface. I don't have like a 12-inch Misty or anything like that. So this definitely does the job for me. So I'm just using an extra strip of paper here to create a little edge, or a mask, so that I can edge my entire paper with some of the same orange ink that I used for the stamping. And that's giving me a nice little framework around my entire layout. And I really like the way that that ends up looking, bringing in the orange color. So again, it is Mandarin Spice, Dress Blues, and peeled paint that I used there. Now I do have this digital collection that I had printed out, and I used it, I want to say back in March maybe, and I had all these extra pieces, and so I cut those out by hand or with a punch, and end up using all of these little bits and pieces on this particular layout. And I really like the way that it looks. They are kind of taking the places of the hearts that are on the sketch, and I'm pretty happy with the way that that turns out. So they are all dog related words. Some say like sit, one says bark, one says woof, did somebody say food, a whole bunch of different dog related sayings, and I thought those were super cute, and they are in all of the colors that I had chosen to stamp in, and that is what kind of determined my ink choices is this particular collection. I will put the name of the collection down below and a link to it in case you're interested in that. I did take it, I printed it at home on, let's see here, I think I printed these on my brother's, I have a Brother color printer, and I believe I printed it on the Brother because I was having trouble with my Canon large format printer printing in the right color. I had to do some adjustment with it and such because I just replaced the ink and I didn't have time to deal with it. I needed to print the morning I was leaving for the retreat, actually. So I just printed it on the Brother on some Nina paper, and it looks fine. So you know, you don't have to have a big fancy printer to go ahead and print some printables off of a digital collection. You don't have to print everything in 12 by 12 either. These are just printed in 8.5 by 11. And in fact, I forgot to turn off the double-sided printing, and it printed back to back, which was not intentional at all. And I didn't even realize it until I had gotten to the retreat and went, oh my gosh, it printed back to back. I can't believe this. So now I ended up having to figure out what side I was going to use. It was kind of a fiasco, but it all worked out and I'm really happy with the outcome. So that's all that matters, right? I am inking up all of these little bits and pieces with some Black Soot Distress ink to keep them popping and to give them a nice dark border. And I really like how that looks. I did, as you saw, ink the framework for the photograph in Dress Blues. And I think my photo is actually printed in 6 1/4. Well, actually, I think it was more like 5 by 7, and I was able to trim it down because that is not the normal size that I print in. It's kind of an oddball size. And I was printing some other photos large, like a 12 by 12 on my big printer when I printed this one, and I just filled in the space on the 13 by 19 inch photo paper, and that's how I got it so big. And it's just been waiting to be used for quite some time, because after I printed that, that's when I needed to replace my ink. So yeah, they were definitely printed at 2 different times, the collection and the photo. So there was this little dog collar in the printable. I did fussy cut the inside of that out, and I am tucking it around this circular bit, and I really like the way that that looks. Gives it it's still circular like a lot of these other pieces, but it gives the little dog collar with the bone a place to reside, basically. And I think it's super cute. So again, I'm just having these kind of floating up and down the page, kind of like bubbles. And obviously we know the date of the layout. There's not a whole lot of journaling to this. I will probably do a little bit just to the right or the left of the photograph there. Just basically, you know, if you tell these 2 dogs walk or cookie or treat or eat, they are full attention. They both sit down, ears up, and look at you like, something's coming, something's happening, and we know it involves us. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, let me know. There is a link to a playlist down below for 30 days of sketches, so you can go and check out all of the inspiration so far. If you don't mind hitting that thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, I would love that. And if you're not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe as well. Thanks again for watching. I will be back again tomorrow with another video. I hope you come back and see me then. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.